Well, first of all, I appreciate everybody who's here tonight. That for anybody that's very late, right? Thank you for your dedication to learning some cool new stuff about Book Creator. So first off, I want to welcome everybody to our webinar here this evening, and obviously a big special thanks to Rikke, who is here as our guest on our new-ish, I should say, Book Creator webinar, our author spotlight. And I'm super excited. My name is John Smith. I will be your host, I guess, tonight for this webinar. And a little bit about me. I taught special ed for 12 years. I was a tech integration specialist for 7. Married. I've got 3 kids. Love golf. Love clean cars. And right now I am the teacher success manager here at Book Creator. So lots of webinars, lots of trainings, all of that good stuff. And for those of you that have been on a lot of these webinars with me, again, thanks for coming back. And so tonight is very special. We're going to talk with Rikke about some of her awesome books that she has made. And so Rikke, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do and all of that good stuff.
Yeah, let me do that. And first of all, let me say that I'm a little nervous doing this in English because that's not my first language. So normally when I talk about Book Creator, it will be in Danish. So I can talk for days without stopping. So, well, I'm a teacher as well. I've been a teacher since 98. Has been working as a teacher for many years. For the last 3-4 years, I've been working in my own company, doing a lot of teaching in schools around Denmark, sometimes also outside of Denmark. Working a lot with Book Creator, helping museums and NGOs using Book Creator and other cool digital tools, creating cool stuff for kids to use. So a lot of SDGs, a lot of books using creative tools like Book Creator.
That's awesome. You mentioned museums specifically. So how have you seen museums working with Book Creator? What are they doing to use the tool?
Well, at the moment, a lot of museums are contacting me because they can see the strength in building templates for the students. So, for example, I've been working with the National Museum and a local museum. They want to prevent the kids with cool templates to use in class. So I'm doing a lot of that at the moment. Yeah.
That's awesome. Awesome. Well, I'm really excited. So next question. So again, for those of you that haven't been part of an author spotlight or seen one of our author spotlight videos, it's more of like a podcast kind of webinar / mashup of all kinds of awesome. So tell us one interesting fact about you, Rikke, something that not many people would know.
That was a difficult question. Well, I just have to say I'm a mom. I have 4 kids. I have more than you. So, well, my kids are the most important thing, but everybody would know that about me. So I don't know if there are any secrets, actually. I'm not sure. That's a difficult question.
Well, if something pops into your head, I'll let you address that later. But
yeah.
Excellent. So tell us, Rikke, how, I think one of my favorite parts about Book Creator, and really honestly, the only reason anybody even cares about who John Smith is because of my story with Book Creator. And I'm not going to regurgitate my story right now, but I'm always fascinated with other people's stories. So what's your story with Book Creator? How did you come to learn about Book Creator? Why did you think it was awesome? So what's your story?
Well, actually, it started when I was working as a teacher because I had a lot of kids with dyslexia, and they also every time they opened up a Word document, it was just a blank sheet, and they had to put in a lot of letters, which was difficult for them. So I found out that using Book Creator instead of just plain text, they were able to use audio, use their voice, doing videos, do all this creative stuff that they really loved. So I started using Book Creator teaching dyslexia kids in school.
That's awesome. I think, I love, I love hearing those stories. Obviously, I come from a special ed background as well. And a lot of times I hear teachers, like in my graduate classes, things like that, when you show them something, and then a lot of times that first thing out of their mouth is, oh, but yeah, I don't know if I can do that because I have special ed kids, right? And you're just like, oh, you just want to get so mad at them because you're like, no, this is perfect for them, right? It gives them a chance to try something different and in a way that may fit their strengths instead of highlighting weaknesses and language acquisition or whatever. So I'm so excited to hear that that's also how you got your start with the students. Now I have to ask, and maybe I'm again putting you on the spot here, but the font for Open Dyslexic. It's one of those things I mention, I talk about. I like it personally. Does it really help? Is it really something that works, or is it just stuff that people say?
It works for the teachers. The students, they kind of doesn't matter as much. Well, often I will use that creating books for them, but I'm not sure. For some kids, I think it's not like dyslexia kids are like one kind of kids. They are as different as you and I.
Yeah.
So for some kids, I think it really makes a difference. For others, it's just, well, I don't think so.
It's just a font, right?
Yeah. I'm using it a lot. Yeah, I am definitely.
Yeah, awesome. I like the way it looks. I think it's kind of a cool looking font. And so that's why I used it. But that's good. It's always good to know. All right. So tonight we're going to talk about some of your amazing books, and I'm going to kick it off with the one that really kind of got me excited and got me looking at this going like, wow. And I think, again, it's timely because of everything that's still happening in this world. So Rikke, can you share your screen? Do you have your Milton book up, or do you want me to pull it up and you can talk about it?
It says here that you have disabled attendance to share screens.
Oh, let's see here. Let me go back to this. I'm going to make you the host real quick, and then that way you can share your screen. So let me change that. All right, Rikke, you're the host now.
Thank you.
Awesome. This book is amazing. I have so many questions and so many thoughts. So I can't wait for everybody to see this. If you haven't seen this, I'm going to share a link here with you in a little bit as well.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try. Oh, it won't let me do anything. Just a sec. There you go. Well, this is the book that you're talking about, right?
Yes. This one's so cool.
Yeah. Well, we created that book just when the schools in Denmark, they were closing down, and we were writing books about this rabbit called Milton, and it's a project about the Sustainable Development Goals. And then we thought, well, this is actually a good health and well-being. So we created this book just in a few days. And the illustrator, she did all these amazing drawings in just a few days. And then I created this book, like all the assignments in Book Creator, I created that. And I think within 10 days, we made sure that every teacher in Denmark were able to use this book in class. So the goal was to make the kids relax, make them have fun, even though they were at home with their parents, not in school. So using Book Creator, the teachers were able to use audio with the kids, make small notes, make videos in the book. So a lot of teachers were using this book during the lockdown for COVID-19.
Yeah, that is absolutely amazing. And I love the fact that you said that, it's based on this rabbit. And so there's obviously other books in the series that feature this rabbit. But I just think it's really amazing. And as I was looking through this book, just the illustrations are awesome. Now, is this an illustrator who is a friend, or is this someone that you commissioned to work on these pictures? Or tell us a little bit more about how that came to be.
Yeah, well, the company that has created this story about Milton is called Milton Around the World. So they found the illustrator and then contacted me as a teacher for. So I'm the one creating all the assignments for schools. So normally there will be Marianne, the author of the book, but since we were in a hurry, Marianne and we wrote this book together to make sure that we were able to like make sure that the teachers was getting it very fast. So we did this book together, but normally it would be Marianne, who's the author of the other books.
Oh, gotcha. Very cool. Can
Mhm.
you flip through some of those pages, Ricky? Because for the people who haven't seen this book yet, again, the illustrations are just phenomenal. But the other thing I really, really enjoyed, even starting, right there, for example, there are some really awesome interactive, like you said, assignments, things that you're asking kids to do. And I think this is really um, uh, I think this is really a kind of a shift, I guess, because a lot of people who are just getting started with Book Creator or have never used it before, or even if it's just kids using it, that has always seemed to be the focus. It's kids, making books or doing a project or something like that. And because of this, this whole virus thing and people working from home, a lot of teachers have started to take to Book Creator as an instructional tool where they are
Yeah.
making the books and they are sharing them with their students so that the students can make copies and make edits inside of it. And I love, like, if you just go to like page 4, I thought this was really just right off the bat. Page 4, asks the students, this is Milton's magical map, and can you move Milton and put him where Denmark is, right? And so immediately, as I'm looking through this book, my first thing was like, oh my gosh, I'm not even sure I know where to put Milton, right? Where is Denmark? I had to think about that, right, for a second. So I love that you have these activities in there. I saw it earlier, and I don't know why I just noticed it, but the hand down at the bottom, just kind of giving that little use your mouse, use your hand to kind of navigate the system. So I think that's really, really awesome. Can you flip through a couple more of those pages, Ricky, and talk about why did you choose like
A
this?
lot,
Why did you
yeah.
choose this activity?
Well, a lot of the pages they seem blank, but it's because we like tell them to make a recording, tell about how they are with their friends at home and how they interact with their friends, even though they're not able to spend time together. So a lot of the pages are actually blank, but we are putting in instruction for the kids on how to fill it out. So they will use drawings. Often they will be creating stuff like on paper, and then we'll uh, take photos of it and put it in the book. And we are often using this, like you mentioned, these icons because they are the same as we will find them here. So instructions for kids who cannot read the instruction. And in the Danish version, there will be audio telling the student what to do. We didn't put audio in the English one, but normally we will do that in the Danish one. But we
Yeah, that
use the
is
same icons as you do in Book Creator.
Yeah, that is awesome. And for those of those of you that are in the webinar and watch me do the book creator demonstrations, they're always in English because that's all I got. I can't. I got nothing else. And so I applaud you for doing this in English, and I appreciate that. And I also love looking at your screen and seeing how the book creator user interface is in Danish. Which is something, again, for teachers who speak English, this isn't something that we normally worry about, but we do actually have book creators user interface in multiple languages. So you can change that in your computer settings, and you can actually, get it in your native language if we have it in that language. So I think that's really a cool feature to kind of see and just kind of make note of. The other thing I think is really interesting about those pages is that especially those blank pages. The story is great. The illustrations are great, but I love the ability to have students kind of take ownership
Yeah.
of their thoughts and their feelings. And you mentioned the one where it says, take a picture or draw a picture of your friends. I think one of the things that kids have struggled with greatly during this time is not seeing their friends like they normally would, or neighbors, or classmates, whatever. There's so many things. And so this book has a lot of great social emotional learning kind of bits and pieces to it, which are fantastic, and absolutely love those. And I think it's also just a really great example of what teachers can do for their students in these remote situations. A lot of times as teachers, we make these books for our kids and they're just filled with stuff, which is great stuff, but we don't ever give them a chance to reflect and answer their own questions inside of that book. So I think that's a really, 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 really powerful. What has been the reaction of the teachers? Obviously, it's been phenomenal because everybody in Denmark wanted a copy of this book so that they could use it with their students. But what has been the feedback from students? Have you heard any student voices coming back saying, "Oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
love this book. This is amazing"?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of online meetings with the students because I have this Milton, and he has been visiting a lot of classes, doing online sessions where they can ask him questions, and he is so popular. They just love the record, so it has been amazing. And then they use we have created a song with the hand washing, and so I think the students really like Milton, and they really like the forest and the whole thing about him. But actually, I just came to think of another book that I put on in this library, because this is a book made by 800 students in the same period of time. Yeah, I just
800.
800 students making just one page each. So I just put out in the Danish, we have like the Danish book creator Facebook group. So I just put out there, well, anyone want to join me in creating the biggest book creator book in Denmark? And like 800 students did that. So
That's
this is the book, each one of them telling about how it is being homeschooled by parents. Some of them just say, oh, I miss my teachers. And they put in a lot of small stories about how they were doing back home. And then we created this book, and we actually got a prize as in the Danish Book of Records for kids.
is that
Because
right? Wow,
yeah,
that's
this is the
awesome.
largest digital book written in Denmark. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. And I know personally how much work that is, right? To organize something like that, because we've done very similar TWIMA projects, and just trying to get people to participate in that thing can be difficult sometimes. And so to get 800 students is phenomenal. It's amazing.
You can see this is Denmark, and this is where the students are living. But actually, I think it's so easy. It's so easy using Book Creator like this. When I was just mixing the book in the end of the project, it was just 5 minutes, and then the book was there, even maybe less than 5 minutes. So I
Yeah.
think it's very cool that you can just write a book and mash up 800 pages without any trouble. It's amazing.
I guess I should clarify myself. The act of making the book is very easy, right? And
It
yes, you can
is.
get a lot of people to come together to make a book very quickly. For me, I don't have as many friends as you, apparently.
Oh,
For me, getting people to join the projects was always the tricky piece. But yes, no, that is amazing. Absolutely love that. And do you have more global collaborative books planned?
yeah. Well, we just posted this one. Did you see that?
I did not see
It's a,
this one yet.
no, it's a museum in Denmark, and they planned like this huge Halloween event, inviting a lot of students to come to the museum and do all kind of. They were gonna listen to stories. They're gonna make all these drawings. So when they were not able to do that, so instead we created this book about horror, and the museum, they created these 3 videos for the students to watch, and then you can get it later. It's in Danish. You can even learn a little Danish, maybe.
Absolutely. That should be your next book. We'll
Yeah,
teach John Danish.
yeah. So we create this book with all these assignments that the students should like find photos of horror people and everything in the book. And we created this, which is very cool, I think. It's a library. So we added a lot of, like here, a lot of photos and graphics for the kids to use. We added sound effects for the kids to use, creating the stories,
Oh, I
and
love it.
also photos and videos. And in the book, they are asked to do all this kind of horror. They should make a picture. They should make a movie and make all these stories in the book. And it's very popular. I think 100 teachers joined the library, took a copy, and shared it with the students in class within just a week. So
That's amazing.
it's a lot in Denmark. It's a small country.
Well, it's still amazing. It doesn't matter how small it is. It's still amazing. And I have to say too that this is what I love most about talking with other people about Book Creator, is because I've done Book Creator. I've used it for 8 years, and I have like this, like I have a John Smith flow of making books, or a lack of flow, right, or a lack of like creativity when it comes to design, right? I'm not a designer. And so what I love about this is an idea that I had never thought of, where you actually have like pages at the end of the book with images and audio clips and videos that the students can then take and put into the book wherever they want to see that it fits. So even though you have the same, the same icons or the same audio, everybody's story is going to be a little bit different, and how they interpret the information on the page and where they're going to put things. I just think that's really cool. And I never would have thought about making an encyclopedia of stuff at the end of a book that kids could use to mix the book up themselves. I just think it's phenomenal. Wow. I'm just kind of like awestruck at it. I think it's a really great idea, and I love it.
If sometimes they don't have that much time doing a project. So if they had to go to Pixabay to find the photos and to find the audio clips, so sometimes it's easier for the teachers if like find the stuff and make them spend the time creating the story instead of just looking in Google and Pixabay to find the photos. So
Yeah.
that was the idea about behind this book.
It's so true. It's so true. I'm still sitting here. My brain is melting because I'm trying to like think of all these like things going on in my head right now about how like next books. Gosh, these are amazing. So what other cool stuff do you have in this library? What are some of these other thoughts and ideas that you might have, or future yes, and just said in the chat window, possible future webinar topic. It absolutely is cool ideas. Definitely gonna steal that one.
Yeah, you can do that. I can help you to translate them if you want.
Absolutely.
This is the next project that we are creating. It's about getting the students to learn about not wasting food, but instead of using the food that they buy and looking at looking at the stuff before they buy it, so they can be able to choose between the good stuff and oh, it's so difficult in English. I'm so sorry. I'm so nervous.
No, you're doing great.
It's kind of like the same way it's built like the horror book. So we will be asking students to find photos, asking them to do all this kind of things in the book. So it's also a template, but it's as it was before. The students must do a lot of creative stuff, filling out the book. Even though it looks like it's finished, they have to do a lot of things like creating memes with food. They have to like be creative while they fill out the book.
That's
So
it's awesome. I think it's amazing, and I know that from the comments I'm seeing in the chat window, I'm not the only one that's just kind of like awestruck at these ideas. So definitely going to be stealing some of these ideas for a future webinar. Coding. So let's talk a little bit about this one.
yeah, because I just love to create interactive books with the students. So this is just one example that I created for the students to like get the idea of how can we build in, like it's only links. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. So they will like make the author, make the reader do all this kind of choices reading the book. So this is just which class can get the most waste. Can you answer that?
Yeah, awesome. Oh, me? Oh gosh, you're gonna put me on the spot now. Let's see here.
Yeah.
Which one gets the most waste? Yeah, so the recyclables. So we got the newspaper in there. We got some of those bottles can go in there. So the recyclables should have most of this. Probably most of them, except for like the fruits. You can put those in that like the compost pile there.
The compost? Sorry, not the most, because there are more bottles than there are compost. So if I push the bottoms, oh, it's fantastic. You can go on. So the kids will make these books. It's so much fun creating books like this with the students. So they will try to figure out, if you push here, you will be sent to this page. And it's so much fun. It's kind of like building an app. So you can
Yeah.
actually creator as a kind of mock-up for an app. It's so much fun creating that with students.
That's awesome. In all of my webinars, I think I talk about making choose your own adventure books, and I've never had like a good example that I could show. It's just like, hey, here's an idea, like now you make it work. And this is it, right? You've made this choose your own adventure book work. That is really cool. Do you have, so a lot of these books, are they published where anybody can just view them? I know Suwan gave me a link so that we could share the Milton book in English, so that teachers could, for those English teachers, they could copy that book and put it into their own library.
Yeah.
We have a special magic download button. So I'm going to put that.
Yeah, I really want that. This is my library, and everybody can join the library, and they can just pick every book that I have on my shelves in my library. So I think
Awesome.
I have around 40 books in that library, and you can just take whatever you want and copy it. Sharing
Awesome.
is caring.
I just put that library code into the chat window there, so that you can join the library and take a look at those books and make copies. Again, that is super cool. Really excited about this. So Rikke, before we wrap things up with my final last question that I like to ask everybody, what are some?
One thing?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This is, I just thought that maybe someone wanted to use those icons that we made. I made them in all kind of colors. So they are also in the library. If you want them, you can just click and go to my Google account and pick whatever you want.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Totally. I was just about to say, before we go, are there any resources, shout outs or links or other things that you wanted to share with us? And that's definitely one of them. I love it. I'm joining your library right now so that I can use that material. That is phenomenal.
Yeah, I just want to say one more thing, because if you don't know H5P, there are a lot of like interactive tools that I like to use within Book Creator. So I can do like memory games and all kind of quizzes and so on inside the book. I know that there are a lot of quizzes in the activity book, but I really like H5P, and it's free to use, so everybody can just create an account and do H5P.
Is that a Denmark specific, or do they have stuff in English as well?
It's English. It is in English. It's a Norwegian H5P. It's open source, so everybody can reuse and rebuild all the things, the content types that they have. So for example, this is a memory game. So you can put in a memory game in the book. It's very popular in Denmark. I thought that maybe it would be popular with you as well.
Well, I'm looking it up now. That is amazing because in here in the States, there's other companies that do similar things, but they're expensive, and they it's hard to for teachers to pay extra money for all these things all the time. So I love this. I have it right here on my other screen, and I can't wait. I know what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm going to be playing around with all this stuff. So that's amazing. Any people you want to give any shout outs to that, that are inspirational to you, that you just want to make sure they know it?
Yeah, well, the Danish Facebook group, Book Creator Denmark, all the people in there are like 1,800 teachers joining us at the Facebook group. And they are all like so helpful, helping each other, using Book Creator, sharing. In Denmark, we share a lot of templates. So we have like 2 libraries. One of them was just full, so we had to create another one. So there are maybe 150 books that everybody just created, put in the library and shared with each other. So wow. I really like that, and I'm so happy to be a part of that community.
That's awesome. And I just put both of those library codes into the chat window as well, so that everybody can see those. And again, I'm going right back to my join button here so that I can put those in before I forget. I can't wait to see what those libraries look like. The other thing I wanted to say is, first of all, I just want to again say thank you, Rikke, for joining us, and I really appreciate you doing this and sharing your expertise and your amazing libraries with us. I'm super excited. I can't wait to, like I said, try these out tomorrow. So I always want to leave with, actually, I have one interesting fact too. Here's a statistic that I can throw out here for all of the viewers this evening. Denmark is probably it has the most Book Creator users of like any country, like per like if there was a ratio, right, of teachers to users, it's somewhere in the neighborhood of like 97% or something like that, where most of the teachers in Denmark are using Book Creator, which is phenomenal. So we can put that little trophy up on the wall or on the shelf there, but that's really cool to know. But I'm going to ask one final question before we go, and this is the one that Rikke, you don't know is coming. So I always like to ask this question, and it always starts out a little strange, but I've been fascinated over the last couple of years with death, and I'm going to say that. Where'd my screen go here? Hang on. Oh, there we go. So I've been fascinated the last couple of years with death, and not in like this weird kind of creepy, what's wrong with John kind of way, but in the way of, what are the things in our classrooms that just need to die, right? Like, what are the things that we just need to get rid of them to make room for all of this amazing new stuff that you just shared with us? So that's the question for you right now. What just needs to go away?
Oh, that was mean.
And if you're in the chat window, you can put it in the chat window too. I'd love to hear what everybody else's thoughts are on this. What's that one thing that just needs to go away?
Well, it's so Danish, the thing that I want to get rid of.
It's okay.
It's some tests that we have the kids make. It's so ridiculous. It's so stupid. So it's kind of Danish, but I would get rid of that. But if I had to find something in the classroom, I'm not sure. I know what the textbook. No, I love books. Actually, I create a lot of books and all this books. So I don't know the textbook. I'm not sure. I don't know.
I will say though, I think that your answer for testing though is probably fairly accurate around the world, right? Yeah, because in the States, we give lots of tests to kids, And I know personally, I was a terrible test taker. So every time somebody said tests, I was like, I got scared and I didn't want to do it. And if you looked at my test scores, you'd probably think that I was not real smart. So I like your answer. I think it's a good answer. And Nadia says, textbooks in the chat window. I understand I think I understand where you're coming from, but I like Ricky's answer too, where textbooks are good when you make them like Rikke makes them, right? When you make these really awesome books, then yes, keep them. But when they are books that don't, or textbooks that don't, like reflect like who the kids are. I know that in my old classroom, the textbooks talked about certain students and certain races and certain things like that. And it was like, my kids were like, that's not us. So like they couldn't relate to that textbook. So I love how you can make your own stuff in Book Creator and make it relatable to everything that's going on. Nadia says, yeah, the texts are too confusing. They don't reflect the kids' interests. Yes, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. Well, first of all, Rikke, thank you so much again for being here. Thank you, everybody, for joining us and staying late. For those of you that were up late doing this, I appreciate it very much. And I just want to say, keep up the good work. Those books are amazing. I can't wait to go spend time tomorrow stealing all of your ideas for some future webinar that we have.
And thank you for bearing with me, even though I was a little nervous in the English. Sorry.
You did great. So I just want to thank you. And then if there are any last minute questions, let's go ahead and throw those into the chat as well, just in case, so that we can get Rikke to answer those questions before we head out of here. But Rikke, if you could you make me the host again? And that way I can, I can turn off the YouTube. I do see some. Can we list the code? Oh, sorry, I'm looking over here at YouTube. I didn't realize we had some YouTube comments going on here as well. But the question was, can you list the codes again to her library? So if you could flash those codes up on the screen maybe one more time, then we can. Actually, I'm gonna actually, you know what? I'm signed in here, so let's do this. So it was 66SDSK8. There's one for Kalia, and then what was the other one? The other one that I had was 87PJ7.
Have other one? This were the last two.
Yep, there's that one, and there was one more.
And the one only my books is the first one. This one. This library is only book that I made.
Gotcha. Awesome. There we go. Thank you. And thank you everybody who's putting those codes into the chat window as well. Thank you. Awesome. So those are now on with the YouTube chat. So the YouTube people will be able to get that.
You asked me to make you the host, and I'm not sure how to. Sorry.
So if you click on the button that says participants, and then you hover over my name, there's a little drop down that says more, and just make, it'll say make host.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Awesome.
Sorry. Is it okay?
Looks like you might still be the host here. So yeah, in the part, it probably won't matter. I think it's going to be okay. Once we end it, it'll be fine. But again, anyway, everybody, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Have a great evening. Be safe out there. And again, Rikke, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Bye.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, Rikke. Really appreciate it. All right. Yep. Just go ahead and hit stop meeting and it'll all be good.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.